And see your chat. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome again. So this is our second week of Python course. And now I hope, and I'm sure that everyone has that drive, shared Google Drive. So before starting again, I want to introduce a Python tutorial online class or course that they have in this link. Okay, let me open this link for you and give a little. So I added this link in a PowerPoint slides that everyone should see this PowerPoint slide and share it Google Drive. So this is a learning Python class online that they teach this Python class. And there's something good about this. They have in this category, they have other things also if you want to learn. So you come to the computer programming and they have other things. About this Python course, you go page by page, like next page and everything. Okay, let me just go ahead. Here is explaining how to install and other things and what is Python. When we goes to the next page, they have examples here. Okay, they show everything explained with the example, and I like this live demo that they added here. So anytime that you want to code something, you just go here, okay, and you just execute it in the other page. You see, it just pop up in this windows your results. Okay, it automatically open this windows for you and you can start coding here and executing your code and see everything. So this was a source that I wanted to share with you. And also there is a lot of online sources if you want to learn Python, and you can go practice. One of famous one that I too much hear about that, probably you also Udemy, something called it Udemy. I didn't use it. I did not use their website because I think this has a fee and you have to pay for that one. Here they have their website, Udemy. Okay, Udemy support Udemy. Sure. They have a lot of class, but I think you have to pay for them. So I didn't use. This is another language. I think we should. And this language. You have hobby, Udemy cute. Okay. Troubleshooting, course taking. They have courses, Python courses and other courses. I think they have to pay. So this is one famous that I all the time hear, but I don't know how is that. So I didn't use that one. Okay, let's go and open. Okay, let's open our Jupyter. Okay, Piper asked, okay, I'm reading your message. Can you paste the link here, please? Oh, I'm sorry, I came out. Okay, so let me copy paste this one here for you. Okay, and you want to have it here. Okay, Kamar, I did that one here. Okay, and I also can't find the drive link. Okay, Luis, I have your message that you said I also cannot find the drive link. So we're gonna share it again. So, and I will follow up about that one later with you, Luis, okay? At the end of the class, at the end of the class, because you should have that one. And Piper, do they have Python 3 too? Yes, they have Python 3, yes. Okay, let's open a new one. So if you go, I think everyone just saved it last time. So if you go here, this is your directory, computer directory that is shown here. Whatever name that you added, you can find it here. So I'm gonna open a new one for myself because I all the time create a lot of variable and they are keep repeating names. Okay, I try to open a new one. Okay. Today we want to talk about input function. Okay. Let first save this one. Let's add the. Okay. Let's put a name. Rename this one with big 2. Okay. And I'm gonna make, before teaching anything, so I'm gonna comment that whatever we are talking about at the top. So making comments is coding culture. Okay. When you coding something really long, like 1,000 line, you need to learn to do comment. Because when someone else reading your code or editing your code, or when you are going back to fix your code, you understand what you were doing in these few lines each time. So just comment whatever you are writing about it. Okay, we're gonna talk about this input function. Okay. Okay. Last week, if you remember, we talked about a story and we gave a story. So I want to write down that a story, okay? Few line a story, like, I don't know, 3 line a story, okay? So we told anything that we want to print it out, we put it, we use print function and we put in this quotation mark, okay? We're gonna write our story. Please, everyone, just write with me at the same time. Okay, we said Sarah is like 25-year-old girl. Okay, and what she is living in Boston. And what else we're gonna say? We're gonna say Sarah pays like 35,000 or something per year for tuition. Okay, we're gonna create a story like this. And we said, when we have a longer story and we do not want to repeat the name each time, or any time that we want to change some numbers, names, and anything, we don't want to go line by line and to change everything. So we're gonna create variables. Okay, our variables was like, let's say, call it name. So we put a name for our variable and we call it name. And this name, I'm gonna put like Tina. Okay, I'm gonna choose this name, or this Sarah, anything that you want. And this is a string type of data. We said, what is a string type of data? Anything that there is inside a double quote or single quote. It can be inside a double quote or single quote is a string. Okay, and I'm gonna like this age, so I'm gonna create a variable for this age, and I call this identifier age, and I'm gonna give it like change the number to 27. Okay, I want to change it, so 27. We said when we are writing the data type integer or float, we don't need it to put inside a double quote or single quote. I'm gonna create another variable, call it city. So I want to also change the city sometimes. City is a string type. I'm gonna make it like Cambridge. Okay. And let's create another variable, which is float. Create a variable for this tuition. Okay. I'm gonna call it tuition. And let's make this a float. We said float number is something 25,000 per. They have decimal point. Okay. This is a float number. And float number, like integer, does not need to be between this double bracket, double quote or single quote. Okay, when we want to put this one inside and replace it to our story, I said, okay, we're gonna do concatenation. Okay, we're gonna make concatenation. For the concatenation, I'm gonna put call my variable here, put a plus, and whatever need to print it out should be between a quote. Okay, here also I'm gonna use this quote, and inside this 25 I'm gonna put my age and put this one inside quotation. She's living. So here inside Boston also I want to replace this Boston with my city variable plus, and inside this one I can say city. Here inside surname, instead repeating this surname, I'm gonna again use my name, call my variable. Okay, plus. Okay, everyone with me. Please, you do at the same time that I'm doing, that you learn and you memorize it. Okay, tuition. Okay, so we need to put a plus here also, and so we replaced all our variable into our story and whatever we want to print it out. So we can come and run it from here, okay, or just a moment. We can press Shift Enter from our keyboard, okay? Shift Enter, okay. Let's see what happened here. Here we received an error message, okay. In coding and programming, when you learn how to code, you're gonna receive a lot of error. Therefore, this error should be your best friend. When we receive an error message, first thing we come and read it, okay? Read to understand what is our error. Can only concatenate a string, not int to a string, okay? And this arrow here actually show us and tell us that where is in which line this error exists, okay? In this message, we can read that it can concatenate a string to a string, not int to a string, okay? Here, if you remember, okay, what we did last time, that we did not receive any error. If you remember last time what we did, we put it inside the quote. Even our age, we put it inside the quote. When we put anything inside the quote, actually we convert it to a string. We said anything inside the double or single quote is a string, okay? So if I put it inside the quote, therefore it should convert it to a string and we should not receive this error anymore, okay? Let's Shift Enter and, okay. Now, what is the error? Is it same error? No, because in line 6, we do not have that errors anymore. Here, the arrow shows that we have error in line 8. What it say? Can only concatenate a string, not float to a string. Okay, what is our float data? The float data was this tuition. Our tuition is float data. The same thing for tuition, okay? If we put a quote, put this tuition value inside the quote, so this should reveal our problem and error. Okay, shift enter, and you see we do not have any error here anymore. There is a better way to do this one. So sometimes we just want to save and have our data as it is. So it is a string, we want to be as a string, okay? There is another way that we can use it to convert our float or integer to a string, which we call that one a string, we call that one a string function, okay? We call it a string function. Okay, like this. What I did here, I use a function. Let me make a comment here. Also, when you want to save and have all like explanation for yourself, just make a comment in the line that you want to explain more about it. Okay. Make a comment and start writing and explain whatever you want. So here we're using a string function, which convert this string function actually convert integer and float number to a string, okay, a string data type. So here we're gonna come and convert this string, this float to a string, okay? Therefore, now I start running, shift enter, okay? We don't receive any errors. So we use this string function to convert them to a string, our like integer and float number to a string. Okay, let's do make it a little more cooler and use other things, other methods too. There is a function called input function. Okay, sometimes we want to work with our user. So you write a program, you want your user or someone who use your code enter some data. You want to ask someone to enter some data, okay? How we can ask our user to enter some data and have and save our user's data. So this function, input function, okay? In input function, we have ask our user, okay? Anything that we want to print it out and display on our screen, we put it in quotation mark, okay? I'm gonna say enter your name, okay? Enter your name here. And let's run this one. See, now it opened a place for us that allow us to enter a name. So I'm gonna write my name and press enter, just enter. See, it has my name here now. With this function, we can talk with our user and ask some data from our user. Okay, but how we can use this enter data? We need to save this data somewhere, and then later we can come and use that data. How we can save this enter data? We said we need to create variable. Variable is like a container that holds our data, okay? Here then we need to create this variable, okay? I create a variable, call it name1. So what this name1 do? Actually, name1 comes and save all everything that my user gonna enter. Save it here, okay? How I can use this one? Okay, I can just replace this one with this name. Okay, I'm gonna Let me actually delete this one. Okay, let me delete this one and put it this name. This is actually same variable, yeah, we created here, name one. And let's see what happens. Okay, we're gonna run it again. It keep asking us again. Okay, we're gonna like enter my name. Okay, print enter. Okay, now what it did actually say Atafe is a 27-year-old girl and everything with my name, whatever I enter to it. Okay, we can do exactly same thing for other data that we have here, like this one. Okay, I'm gonna use this input function. Okay, and I'm gonna say enter your age, or I can say how old you are. Okay, something like this. And how about for this city? Let's for this city also ask our user, okay, that where our user live. Okay, I'm gonna ask my user, where do you live? Okay, where do you live? And for tuition also, let's do same thing. Input. Let's say how much do you pay as your tuition? Okay. Okay, we have now keep asking some question from our user. Let's run it. Shift enter. Okay, enter your name. My name. Let's enter other names. So I'm gonna say Ashley. Okay, and how old you are? Let's tell other age like 30. Where do you live? Let's say Boston. Okay. And how much do you pay as your tuition? Okay, we can say 36,000.89, something like that. Okay, when it comes here, it updates all the data. Now, very easily, we could create a story with our users' data and involve our user and keep asking some question from our users. Okay. So this was input function. For the certain type of data, we have a nice some different function that I want to explain about each of them. Okay, we have this type function. Okay, I'm gonna explain about the type function and tell you what type function do. Sometimes when our user enter a data or we have a data and we don't know what is that, okay, we can use this type, okay, this type function to understand what type our data is. Okay, let's see how we can use this. I'm gonna make it like something else. Let's prompt. Let me call my variable prompt and say like a school. Okay, I write a school here. Let me create another variable, call it num, and put some like number into it. Okay, now I don't know what type of data I have or what type of data they are. So what we do, we come and use this type function. We wrote the name of our variable inside it and just shift enter. When we press shift enter, it returns the type of data that we have here, okay? So let's do same thing for none. Okay, none. Okay, it said it is integer. However, if this none be a like float number, okay, let's again shift enter, it is float. Okay, for explanation, let's write here that what this type do. Actually, it shows the type, the data, data type of the variable. Okay. Here also we have another like other functions. So see, I have this a string. Okay, there is some function that we use for a string. What if I want to see if I want to check if this is a lowercase, a string, or uppercase? So we know this is a string. Okay, I'm gonna say prompt point is lower. I want to check to see if it is lowercase or uppercase. It's tell me it is false. Okay. Let's do also other function is okay. Is upper. Is upper mean checking to see if our prompt variable is uppercase or not. Okay, let's shift it. Okay, it say also wrong. It's not upper either lower, but because it has also lowercase and uppercase inside it. Okay, if I do it completely like lowercase, okay, I'm gonna make this one as a comment line. Okay, now let's just print run this line. Okay, true. Yes, it is a lowercase string. So let's write here some explanation that is lower function or is upper function, check the upper or lower case of our string. It check to see if our string is lower or upper. Okay, so what other function we have? Oh, we have another nice function. Okay, we have a string like this. Okay, and what we want to do with that? It is all lowercase. I want to make it all uppercase. I want to turn it to uppercase. So I'm gonna come here and say prompt dot upper. Okay, it was lower, so I want to uppercase it. See how nicely it returned whatever we had to a uppercase. Okay, and this one, okay, let's put that comment and give an explanation that upper function converts lower case string to uppercase. Okay, what if we have all like, let's make it all uppercase, then we want to, okay, here it is all uppercase. I want to convert and change all them to lowercase. We're gonna do actually similar things. Prompt dot lower, okay? And do not forget this close and open parenthesis. Let's press run, shift enter. See, it was here all uppercase, and here it come and converted to lowercase. I think we can add these two functions together also. Okay, let's do it. How it was. So I think if I do prompt dot, let me see. Prompt dot lower. Okay, actually, okay. Prompt dot upper. Let's make it upper and say point. Okay, let's see if this one is working or not. Is upper. Okay, I'm gonna make everything here in a lowercase. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Yes, what in this line we did. In this line, first we came in this part, made this prompt, okay, whatever this prompt was, we made it uppercase, okay, it was lowercase here. We all did it to the uppercase, and then we came and here ask, check, is uppercase. Actually, we are asking this program language, is it uppercase or not? And say true, it is uppercase. And what else we had? We had this prompt. Okay. When we want to check the index numbers inside a string and understand how many like index number it has as a character, we use this bracket, okay? So prompt, when we just use the name of our variable, whatever we have here, and we use this bracket, okay? Bracket, inside the bracket, actually, we need to put index number that we are looking for. What is the index number in Python or programming language? In all programming language, the place that our string or characters exist is in the programming language start from number 0, okay? This S is in a place of index 0. Okay, this one is in the index of index number 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, I want to check to see what character we have in the index number 2. Okay, let's say H. We have H in the character 2. Okay, here H is character 2. 0, 1, 2, you can see. Okay, what if we don't know end of our character and we want to just check? Okay, we want to check to see what is the last index, what character we have in the last index position. We put -1. Okay, and a school. L is at the last index. Okay, so this was the way that we could use it. Oh, also we can do something. We can print out. Okay, I want to print out. Let me write this. I want to make a comment first. Okay, for everyone who wants to have this explanation and write it. Okay, like this, a string bracket actually show the index position, the character, show the character that we have in the index position inside. Yes, the index position actually. You can write the explanation at the top, whatever explanation that you want to write about this line. Okay, if what if I want to just print out all the character that I have from like any index position to the other one? So I want to print out any character that I have from index position 2 to 6. Okay, we do something like this. This means print out any character that I have from index position 2 through 6. Okay, see how nice it just printed out. Hold this. And we have also max and minimum. We have this replace. Let's replace. Let me check. Prompt dot replace. Okay. This replace function, what it does. Okay. Sometimes we want to replace a string or character or whatever we have with the other one in the prompt or a string variable that we have here. Okay, see, I all the time attach my a string or that variable that I want to make that changes into it. Okay, replace s with what? With like r. Okay, let's see if this one works. Okay, this replace function, okay, replace this one with this. See how nicely it replaces it. We can also write even more like, I want to replace a school with this. Let's see. See how I make these changes into my program. So nice, okay? So everyone, okay, if you want to write the explanation about these lines that we made it and all this function, you can write it from the line, okay? Okay, let's a little goes, so here we explain about all these integers, okay? Let me talk a little more about integers and float type of data that we have. Let me write a variable here. Okay, let me create a variable, call it like num, or yes, let's create a variable num1, okay? And equal, okay. I want to create, let me explain about this one later. Okay, as we create everything here and we ask, we use this input function to ask our user, we can create a kind of like a calculator. Let's create a calculator, okay, here. Try using this input function and all that math function that we learned last week, okay. Let's create a number. I'm gonna call it num1 variable, gonna call it num1. Here, instead putting a number, so before we were doing like this, okay, num2, like 5. Instead entering and putting these numbers here, let's ask our user to enter, okay. Input, I'm gonna ask my user, please enter the first number, okay. And here also, let's ask our user, please enter the second number, okay. And what we're gonna do here, we can do any like math operation that we want to do with these two numbers that we have from our user. Okay, we're gonna use these two variables. Okay, let's create something called result, and our result is like num1. Okay, and num1 like plus or minus or whatever, num2, and here I'm gonna say print result. Okay, let's see how this code gonna work. Okay, it's keep asking us, please enter the first number. I'm gonna say like 20, enter. Okay, please enter the second number. I'm gonna say 6, enter. Okay, what happened here? See, I entered first number 20, and then I entered the second number, okay, which was 6, and I expected that these programs come up and just add these two numbers together. But what happened? Why it said just, it put them actually together. It didn't add. And so in the input part, also like this string part, okay, anything that we enter, anything that our user enter, okay, our programming consider it as a string, not integer. Now, whatever we entered here, our program got it as a string. It think this is just a string, not a number or anything. Okay, what we should do for that? Okay, when we receive a string, we need to convert this a string to number. If you remember, here we came and convert our integer and float number to a string. Here we're gonna do vice versa. We're gonna convert this a string to our, okay. How we can understand this as a string? Actually, it's a good time to come and check. Let me check here. Okay, I want to check to see what is the type of, let me, what happened, why I cannot write it? Okay, it keeps asking me this one, but I want to choose. Okay, let me just write this one. I want to check the type of num, okay? Num1 that I have. Let me see what kind of, I think we need, each time that we restart this program, actually it starts from the first line, okay? I'm gonna make comment this line, so we don't need this line anymore. I'm gonna comment out them, okay? I don't want to run them anymore. Whatever here, okay, we are good. Let's run it, and let's run this part. Okay, why it cannot run? Let me cut and this part. Okay, why it cannot run or print it out and in type num1. Okay, let me restart my kernel again. And shift run it. Okay, it does not print out my type or this line. What happened here? I don't know. Okay, let me run it again or from here. No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna like copy paste this one to the next line and see if it's gonna work or not. Okay. Okay, let me delete this part. Okay, let me print this result. No, it does not print anything from this line that I have. And why it does not print anything out of this line. Okay. Did I lost my connection?
Mine actually did that for a little while when I didn't fill in an input. If it asked me for an input and I tried to like bypass the input, then it stopped running the code. But when I opened up a new whatever this is called, a kernel or whatever, it worked fine.
Yeah, if I create a new one, it's gonna work, but I don't know what is the problem and why it's stopped working totally for me. Okay, if even I'm keep creating this one and copy paste this one, but it doesn't work. Okay, I'm sure I have my connection, so this one is still on. Saving file as V2. This is working. My kernel is on. What's happened for you? Okay, I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's open a new notebook, and we're gonna continue with our new notebook. Okay. Okay, okay, copy paste this one. I think I lost my connection totally. Okay, no, it opened here. Okay, so we were here. So here, I wanted to check the type first. If the type, so we can use that type function, okay, to check the type of these two. So it's gonna show that it is a string, okay. We set any number that we enter, like 19 enter, and the second number gonna be 3. It added together like this, not as a mathematical function. What we're gonna do, we're gonna convert this a string to integer, okay? We had that a string function, and now I'm gonna show you this integer function, okay? We're gonna convert both of this to integer. Okay, now let's run it. We're gonna enter a number, and now let me like 5. See, now it works properly. Okay, let me run it again. I want to this time have another number, 50.9, and then enter my second number, which is like 10. Okay, here we have error. Let's read our error message and see what we have. Invalid literal for integer with base 10. Okay, actually it's telling us that this integer, invalid literal for integer. So we said we only accepting integer here, not any other kind of data. But the data that I entered here, this is a float number, okay? What we're gonna do, I'm gonna convert this string not to integer to float. I have problem today with this one. I cannot type anything. Again, I have problem. I cannot type anything. So you do same thing instead integer. Okay, just print here. Just print float instead this one. Okay. Okay, now I can do that. Okay, it had a little number. Okay, I'm gonna do this float and say num1, okay, plus float num2. Okay, now let's run it. We're gonna enter a float number, and it's like 34.5. And for the next one, let's enter 6 or 7. Okay, here we have the correct number. Now if we put anything like division, let's put division and do like 90 over what? Over 2. Okay, it printed out here. So anytime after this we want to work with number and receiving any kind of number of our user, we're gonna use float. Remember, this is something that we all the time have to use it when we receive any number or anything from our user. We return it to float because our computer, our program actually consider it as a string, whatever that our user, what number our user entered. Okay, stop. Okay. If you press Control S, you're gonna save your code. You don't need to anything else, and you just can close this part. Okay, just press Control S. It's gonna save all your codes here. Okay, and also for this one, and then save it for later that you're gonna go back. Okay, let me close all this one. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you so much. Is there? Do you have any question? Okay, thank you everyone. So I'm gonna see you again Thursday.
Thank you.
Have a great day. You're welcome. Have a great day, everyone.